live.
All right, we are live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show for Friday, September 1st. We've made it to September. We've made it to college football, so I know a lot of people are going to be watching that this weekend, but I will be over on ESPN watching the fights. UFC Paris, presented by Monaco. You can't see it on the screen right now. Let me lift it for him. Monaco, presenting sponsor of Spinnin Backfist. I've got the watermelon margarita here. I've got the spicy margarita here. Jack is going to fix the camera so you could see the Kentucky coffee flavored whiskey, more watermelon classic margarita, and then for the double vodka Don, we've of course got the double vodka shot of lemonade. 9% alcohol in all of these things, tequila in all of these, and then vodka in just a hard lemonade, which is great. All great stuff. Shout out Monaco, sponsors us, sponsors the UFC.
Now you can
great
see
synergy.
Now you can see it on screen. We had to do a little bit of a move there, an audible, but we're an independent show.
Yeah, that's how we. That's how
it is. It's indie wrestling.
It basically is,
and we
this is
love
a punk rock MMA show.
yeah, exactly. And we love that, and we love the Kentucky coffee.
Yep.
I'll be having some Monaco this weekend, kicking off. I mean, obviously Monaco pairs perfectly with the UFC, but then on Sunday, I know Ev is ready. There's a big game on Sunday, Florida State LSU.
Oh,
and
is that the first big game of the season? Really?
I would say so. And
it's the only ranked matchup of the weekend.
Gotcha.
And the Monacos are going to be pouring on Sunday night. We're going to be enjoying them.
I love it. Thank you, Monaco, for sponsoring the show. Go get yourself some Monaco at Drink Monaco, and tweet us if you're drinking Monaco this weekend. Send us pictures of your Monacos. We'll retweet them. It is the first weekend of college football. I just realized that before we went live because I was going over there. Glenny Balls, Marty Mush sitting over there. I said, guys, UFC's on 3 p.m. this weekend if you're looking for something to watch. And they both just gave me this look like, are you an idiot? And yeah, apparently football's back. So we might be the only ones watching UFC this weekend, but it'll be on at least a second screen for everyone.
Oh, I'll be watching all the fights. I'm not missing. And I know Ev's the same. We watch like everything, but for me to miss a fight, it would have to be like, I'd have to be away from, because the ESPN Plus app is so good that you can watch it on your phone. Or I know Ev runs into it more because sometimes he'll be in the midst of 1,000 college students like yelling his name. But I think, didn't you watch the Oliveira Makachev fight last year, like in the middle of like 1,000 college students?
So no, I was not. So some of it, I guess, was going on during it. I was like, there was points in time when I was trying to in between hits, which I just like see what was going on my phone. I did leave we shot all the, like, we do the live show. Then I would go shoot a video at the actual game with Fasoli. So I did that at LSU. And then I literally was like on my phone, basically at the very end, watching like the Sugar Sean fight as like I'm sitting in like Tiger Stadium with like watching LSU play Ole Miss. And then also like watching like Sugar and Jan. And then we left the game early. So then I was just sitting outside Tiger Stadium on like a statue of like one of their famous players, just watching Oliveira versus Makachev for the belt. But I'll be streaming this Saturday in Chicago with Brandon. So there's enough games that either, if there's not room for UFC on one of our 6 TVs, I'll have it up on my iPad. So I'll be watching both for sure.
Yeah, me and Ev have sat in the back row of the now defunct Hoboken Gambling House. Yep. And I think we watched that awful Johnny Walker, Thiago Santos
horrible
fight together. And I was like, who's winning this? And then I was like, I think it's Thiago, but like nothing's happening. And then I think we both looked at each other and we were like, imagine having fight doesn't go the distance in this. And like I think we said that must have ruined every parlay in the book.
It was minus like 500 to not go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They had a Derek Lewis and Ngannou fight. They just like were afraid to get knocked out and just didn't punch each other.
But also, shout out everybody here, new YouTube channel.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed to this one already. It's a transition from My Mom's Basement to the Spinnin Backfist MMA show. We used this channel like a year ago for a couple shows.
Yeah, there was one. Remember when you were in London and your Wi-Fi didn't work? And then we were like, how do we get it? And you were like, I can't even get you guys access to my account. So we just threw it up on here. And then we've put up some stuff, and we'll put up more stuff here. It's exclusive MMA, and then yours will just be MMA. Exclusive. All the stuff that you
nerd
do.
shit.
Nerd shit. Yeah.
So look out for that. I just had a half a nerd blog, half a fight blog because Dave got into a fight with a nerd at a pizza spot. He was wearing a Star Wars shirt, so I had to come out and disavow him. That was tough for me when he walked out wearing a Star Wars shirt. I was just like, oh, fuck. But it kind of showed Dave is a true Star Wars fan because he didn't go like, you're wearing that nerdy shirt.
Yes. He just said
He just
six
went about the
sizes too small.
size. Yeah. He loves Star Wars.
Sure was a little tight.
It was a little tight. I called him John Bon Hoagie in my blog.
Somebody also said, I made a TikTok about it. They were saying he looked like somebody else. That guy.
He had an interesting look. Great video though.
Jack Mack, you might know who I'm talking about. I think you would be on point with something like this. You want to know who he reminds me of? He looks like. Do you know the guy that is always? He's like he's kind of like a staple in like side talk videos.
Oh yeah.
I remember he's like he was like go to hell, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
A few of them. Like I think he's kind of like a. I want to say he's kind of like he's like the gay Trump supporter, if I'm not mistaken. And he looks a lot like that guy.
Got it.
That's what I think. That's what I thought of when I saw him.
Shout out
Dom of the Year.
Dom of the Year, Logan in the chat, Dylan in the chat, Matt in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Everyone make sure you subscribe to the new channel.
WP 0608, I think that guy's name is.
WAP? WAP?
No, our first chat, WP.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, any news really happening since last
Tuesday?
talked?
I don't think so. Not that I saw. I'll pull up the MMA Reddit.
Dana went all. He must have watched the show.
Rob?
Yeah, because Big F sat here and was like, guys, I don't know about Marab. He may not all be there. And then Dana just went in on him.
Yeah, he was upset.
I want to give Ev the floor.
I to me, like, it's not personal with Marab. I just think he's like kind of dumb, and I think really dumb, and I think I think he's dumb in more ways than not wanting not just taking the title shot that he really has earned. But I just don't understand where they're. Also, he just doesn't do himself any favors. He just keeps saying the same thing, where he's literally sitting there saying like, give Aljo a rematch. Like, I get he's your boy. I totally get it. Like I try to think of myself as a very loyal guy as well, but at some point you got like this. You're the number one contender. Like you smoked Jan. You're smoked him, clear number one contender. But his biggest problem is that he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, and he's kind of boring. So I mean, like that combo mixed with me not wanting the title shot over not willing to fight my friend. I mean, people, I don't know, they're different, I guess, because they really are like best friends. But I don't know, like, it's hard for me to like try to put myself in his shoes because I can't like really feel what he's like, can't feel what he's going through. But I don't know, he's just done himself no favors. I'm not shocked Dana did it. I don't really blame Dana for doing it because think about Dana from his perspective, regardless of their friends. Like this, imagine a guy that like not wanting to achieve his dreams, like not wanting to, like you've dedicated your entire life to this, and you're at the precipice, you're at the doorstep of achieving everything you ever wanted, money, and even if it's not money, just achievement, like reaching your goals, your dreams, and you're just literally sitting on the shelf, just saying like, now, like I'm good. That's got to drive you nuts if you're Dana White. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't help that Marab isn't marketable.
If he was a knockout artist, yeah.
And he's not even, so his fighting style, I wouldn't say for like MMA fans like us who really love the sport, I enjoy watching him, but to the Big Daddy Trent is not tuning in to watch.
Marab,
maybe against O'Malley, but he's not tuning in for O'Malley. Same with a lot of
Marab,
people. For Marab. Also, I like Marab because I think he's kind of like a funny, goofy guy, but he's not going to get on the mic and really put on an amazing show. So you add all of those things up, and then what Ev just said and laid out, Dana is probably just like, hey, all right, see you, buddy. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And then also, it's Marab. in my opinion, too, matches up really well against
O'Malley. Yeah.
His gas tank is absurd.
And I think how I thought Aljo was going to do to O'Malley, why I thought he was going to win, I think Merab can do it. He may get caught while doing it, but he ate some pretty solid punches against Jan. And all that being said, who even knows if we'll ever see him fight?
I got a tweet to read to you guys that just got tweeted by O'Malley 11 seconds ago. Apparently, O'Malley went out to the Red Rock Casino with Dana White, Tim Welch, his coach, and the Nelk boys last night. And just a funny tweet from O'Malley here. Talk to the boys. We decided to let Henry Cejudo off the roster. Great run, champ. Enjoy retirement. Let me know if you need to learn some wrestling defense.
He really wants that fight.
Yeah.
He's been doing very good on Twitter since the fight.
Did you see he got community noted?
He did get community noted. He said he's 18-0. And they came over the top with his loss to Cheetah.
But he's been doing the
that's not under the Sugar Commission. That was under protests. And the appeal won. It was granted. But also, real quick, I want to ask you guys a genuine question. I don't know why I hadn't really thought of this before, but it just kind of hit me that. Do you think if Aljo and Merab, their roles were reversed? I think Aljo's going to fight Merab for that belt.
I think 100%. He is too. I think he is too.
And that's basically the root of why I think Merab's kind of dumb, because I don't think Aljo's like intentionally like playing him. I just think Merab is being stupid just not to like. Because I think if Merab was like, Aljo, I'll fight you for this belt, Aljo would have been like, all right, bet.
Also, I guess I'll never understand it, like as a non-fighter, but like we've seen very friendly people fight before, have no beef before the fight, and no beef after the fight.
Fuck, I know they probably weren't as close as these two. I'm sure they weren't, but I mean, Usman and Gilbert did it.
Yep.
Yeah. And
but there was some animosity.
Yeah.
Animosity. I think Seth Rollins did that once.
Yeah.
When he was on the mic, but animosity between, because Usman really took, but maybe even there, Usman was kind of just building the fight, because I remember he kept referring to Gilbert as a JV player. It's like, you're coming up to varsity, but I'm sure after the fight, I think they're still really good friends too. So, I mean,
no, they did. Because I remember it being, I mean, not to cut you off. I just remember them. I remember he didn't like touch gloves with Gilbert at the beginning, and I was shocked by that. But I think it was him. I think it was part of his like mental psyche. Of
100%.
Like, he's not your friend. Like, you're going to war.
And
I think that was part of him selling the fight. He wanted to sell the fight. He's gonna say like, I was the guy. Like, you were just kind of the guy that came later. Like, I'm the alpha dog. You're the beta dog, kind of thing.
This is a good point from MPI in the chat. So Usman and Gilbert did they meet at ATT? Where did they train?
I think.
So MPI's point is ATT is such a bigger team than Aljo and Merab's, which is like,
that's true.
Totally fair.
But I remember Usman, after he knocked out or finished Gilbert with the jab, he celebrated, and it was like a very vicious celebration. But then I remember he looked at Gilbert and it hit him, and he was like, oh man, I see how much it means to him. And he went over and he was like, hey, this guy was talking trash about me, but he's still my friend. Like, I understand. It's the fight game. You want to win. And now Usman knows in that moment what it's like to lose, and he went over to him. Merab and Aljo, I mean, you just have to do it. But I mean, will they fight? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Dana's now like, oh, if either of you want a title shot again, you have to fight each other to get the title shot.
Imagine he did that. That'd be.
I think he may do that, dude.
That'd be crazy. Nah, he couldn't. He could.
Yes, he could. He would do that.
But I mean, it would just kind of be like, oh, I'm never letting you guys fight again unless you fight each other. That'd be quite the ultimate.
That would be nuts.
You're telling me Dana won't do that?
I don't think he'd do that.
I think Dana would do that.
He could. I mean, he could. He's a powerful guy. Like, he could, but I just think that wouldn't. I think he wouldn't do that. It just wouldn't really make sense. No. As much as now they haven't wanted to fight for so long that even though both their stars aren't the most exciting, now there's most intrigue behind that fight than ever.
Yeah,
because they just don't want to fight so bad. Now I want to see them fight.
Someone just tweeted me in response to our thumbnail and said that Spivak looks like Nate, and that really
He
makes
does.
me laugh. I
No.
can see it there, actually.
No. Spivak
He's got
does
the
look
Nate.
like me.
He got the Nate mouth.
Yeah. Some other tweets that I thought were funny. Sean O'Malley said Henry saying me and Aljo only did 350K pay-per-views, according to his girlfriend, aka Source. He said he just talked to the UFC. He heard upwards of 570K.
Not ooh.
Legit, no kidding. Not making this up. Heard Aljo versus Henry did 135K. Also, Henry's 5'2". LOL.
Wait. Okay, so the last part's hilarious. Do you think the 135K is right?
That's scary bad if it's right.
That's scary low.
There was, me and Jack, we were there. There was a lot of empty. There was some empty seats in the
There was
house.
empty seats, brother.
A lot of empty seats.
Ev and I had like our own row.
Me and Jack were like man spreading. Like we were two, like lounging, and we were like 100 levels.
Yeah.
We were like good seats. Like I've said this a bunch of times. I think they lost the pay-per-view when they lost Charles.
Yep.
And
he
I
was
think
he was a huge factor,
Gilbert,
huge draw.
And as much as people I think love Gilbert, I think Gilbert, and that was huge of them to get that fight on the card because they really needed a co-main event that they did not have. So respect to both of them for taking it, but the fight wasn't obviously Gilbert gets hurt, but even just the lead up to it in general, people just don't get excited to watch Bilal fight, no matter who it is.
As you talk about Bilal, where are we with him?
I think he's kind of gotten fucked that Leon and Colby are taking so long to fight.
I know.
Now he's fighting White Sox Dave.
He was guaranteed next in line.
White Sox Dave just interviewed him this week.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe he's got an answer in that. We got to check that out.
It is sick because I actually don't think he's like a bad guy. Like I actually think he's like a very nice guy, like pretty.
Oh yeah.
Guy.
Oh, I personally like Bilal.
Yeah, I like Bilal.
Yeah,
but his fighting style and it's tough. People just don't connect to him.
PFL.
PFL bought by not bought, but
bought a
minority stake.
Essentially, they bought a huge part of it, but it's not the majority stake.
Gotcha. But people are saying, is this the money that they needed to buy Bellator? Maybe
there are rumors that somebody said that in the chat. I want to give them credit. I think Logan DeWolf mentioned that in the chat.
Logan, shout out Logan.
Shout out, and then hey, Saudis, keep putting that money into PFL
and MMA. If you want to buy a Spinnin Backfist, we will sell it to the Saudis.
We will go. We'll go to Saudi once a month.
We'll do a live show from Saudi once a month.
The moral compass with the Saudi money, 0.
We will go.
Oh no. Yeah. We will be there no matter what.
I will take the Saudi money, sleep like a baby.
We'll play on the Live Tour. We'll caddy on the Live Tour if you want us to.
I'll do anything. Yeah, all of it.
Mighty Mouse went 6-0 to become the IBJJF Master World Champion. Saw a couple of videos of him this weekend.
He's just
a beast.
Elite.
I mean,
elite is the word.
When it goes down, like how far up the GOAT rankings do you think he'll be?
It's going to be so debated because people will say he never faced the competition level that like a John Jones has faced or anything like that. I think he's at worst top 10.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
At worst.
I was gonna say, without question, best flyweight of all time, right? I mean,
yeah,
with like not even a debate.
No. I was saying GOAT in terms of overall pound for pound.
He's in the. Yeah, I would say he's definitely. I mean, his run.
You can make the top 5 argument, I think.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. You could.
I think you can make. I mean, I love Khabib, but I think you can make a much better argument for Demetrius over Khabib.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean the Khabib. The problem with the Khabib argument is he just didn't defend it. He didn't defend long enough.
And I mean,
like when you have runs like Demetrius and like John Jones, and even like the runs like GSP and like Anderson Silva had, they all just had significantly longer, like more.
Yeah.
I guess you could argue the dominance level of some of them. Like John Jones, you could argue obviously crazy dominant. Demetrius same way. GSP obviously had some fights in there that were like shaky, but
Demetrius is
Johnny Hendricks and all that. But
run has continued in a division where it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
There's so many guys in that division we've seen fall off a cliff because the speed goes. And once the speed goes there, and he's still, I mean, he's dominating.
His post-UFC career, I think, is actually helping his legacy. Like, he's got a loss and won and everything, but him coming back and avenging that, the knockouts, the mixed rules Muay Thai fight. I think that's all helped.
Benched it twice.
I'm with MPI.
So am I.
I think he won the second
So do I.
fight.
So do I. It was a very close fight, but I definitely thought Demetrius won. Another thing that I wanted to bring up, speaking of John Jones, so he was asked if he still gets nervous, and I think this is a real quote, Combat Sports. I still get really nervous, man. I have nightmares about my opponents. I could be balls deep in some and Stipe will cross my mind.
I believe that.
Balls deep in some and he's thinking about Stipe Miocic. That's weird.
I think not to get into our personal lives here, but if that happened to me, I don't think I'd be able to like continue.
No.
I think the night would be over.
You'd be like, we got to call it.
Yeah, sorry.
I got Stipe mumbling in my brain.
Yes.
Oh man, I did see a comment that he had about that basically, which I mean, this is like probably pretty obvious once I say it, but that he was very happy that his heavyweight debut was against Cyril Gane and not Francis Ngannou.
Yeah,
like that was much more like a lesser of two evils, if you will.
Yeah. And then Yuri said this week that he still hopes for a UFC title fight this year. So we kind of talked about that on Tuesday. And he's excited to face the second version of Glover Teixeira in Alex Pereira.
That fight, that's one of my most exciting fights I think I can book right now. But that's because I love Pereira so much.
Yeah.
And Yuri I love too.
I think that's a banger.
I mean, I'm like, that's
any day of the week. That's a banger.
Any day of the week. Yeah.
That's a tough like breakdown. So yeah. I think Yuri, like I think Yuri's obviously more well rounded, but I mean, he's so hittable though.
He's so hittable.
And I mean, Poatan is fucking different. I'm very curious to see the way that very curious to see the way that fight gets lined. Very curious.
I would probably put it. I was gonna say Yuri.
I would say
40.
No,
I was gonna say Yuri like maybe Yuri like slight favorite.
Yeah, really? I said minus 140. Yuri. What did you think? Like even or Pereira favorite?
Even if not Pereira, little favored. Yeah.
I mean that could like that line could come out in that and it could get flipped.
Yeah,
I think it would.
That'd be.
But I think it would go back and forth. I think a lot of people would like. I think there'd be a very split money on that. I think it'd be very like I think you'd see a lot of smart people on both sides.
Yeah, the chat saying Mike says Yuri minus 110 like Robbie. Jesse says minus 115 Yuri. I said minus 140. Ev seems like he's more minus 120, minus 125.
Yeah, something like that.
And then I'm sure there's probably like a futures odds out there somewhere that has already outlined it. But if anyone knows that, put that in the chat. Habib won like 95% of his rounds he fought, though, versus. Yeah, I mean, he did, but
that's true.
I mean, we're not. Habib's in that conversation. I was just saying.
No.
No,
he's not even close. Let's break down UFC Paris.
It was his father's cards. Where's he gone to now?
We got our second card in Paris in 2 years. They're doing this Labor Day little special now, and pretty decent card.
Yeah, we lost some fights though.
Yeah.
It's down to 11, I think now. I think it was up at 13 or 14 at one point. There were some fights I was interested in. Did William Gomez get a fight booked again or no?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
He's fighting
Giannis Gamori.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. He was obviously the one who fought Francis Marshall last. He's built crazy and he throws very athletic, but he loves punching air. But we'll get to all the fights.
Yeah, we're supposed to see Oezdemir on the card. No longer on the card. That canceled. There were a bunch of ones that got canceled and then rebooked as well. But we kicked things off. Go ahead.
I think there was two guys. It was the
Wait, Oezdemir's fight got canceled?
No
against
way.
Guskov?
Just now?
It says canceled.
Against Guskov?
What?
Oh no, against Azamat. We are getting Vulcan. His original fight was canceled. That's why.
Oh, I was gonna say. I was like, yeah, no, that fight. God. No, there was the Lockraine and Lopoulos fight. I think they were supposed to fight other people. I'm pretty sure, and then I think they both lost their fights, and they just matched them up together. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I got thrown by the canceled next to Vulcan's name.
That scared the shit.
Now, catch weight 140. We kick things off with Zara Farim dos Santos versus Jacqueline Calvacanti.
Yeah.
I think Zara Farim is just bad.
Yeah, like I think Jacqueline should really roll. I don't love. I think like it's always tempting. First fight of the night, put it on a parlay, but it's like I think long term, like you're just better unless you really have a great feel here. Just sitting it out.
Everyone in the chat's mad at me for making them think the Volca fight got canceled. I'm sorry, guys. Apologies.
Well, you said it first, and I was like, wait, am I an idiot? Did I miss that? And then
well, I was reading it, and the way I had, I didn't see his rebooked fight.
Yes.
I thought you were reading it later, like it was like breaking news. Like I was like, no fucking way.
Nah, I fucked everyone on that. Sorry, guys. All right, bantamweight Fareed Basharat versus Clayton Rodriguez. I think Basharat's a huge favorite.
Yes, he is.
I think he should be as well.
Yeah,
Clayton's moving up to bantamweight for the first time in the UFC. He was a flyweight. I like Basharat here. I think Basharat like sub. I think he's parlayable. I just think Clayton. I mean CJ Vergara, who I don't hold in like super high regard, beat him at 125. Was getting takedowns on him and stuff. I think Basharat handles him like relative ease here.
I like that we're getting these two fights out of the way quick. Not that they're bad, but they're probably the most lopsided on the card.
Yeah,
right
I
away.
don't mind this fight. I think I'm not. Oh, I have to go.
Low battery.
That it goes so fast when it live streams.
You break it down. I'll grab mine.
Okay, there actually may be one right
there. You
there.
got one there.
I was going to say something really quick, then I was going to go see if it's there. I think this line's pretty good. I think Clayton's actually pretty good. I think he had a tough fight against Vergara, and then he bonked Shannon Ross, right? If I remember correctly, Clayton destroyed.
Yes, you're right.
Everyone bonked Shannon Ross.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Shannon's on the card next week. We get it. He's running it back next week.
Yeah.
Look at that. All that being said, I do think I'm excited for this fight because I like watching the Basharat's fight. I think Clayton's a decent matchup. Clayton was supposed to fight, what's his name, right? Tatsuya Taira, right?
I think at one point he was.
And then, so we'll see. I'm staying away from this fight. I don't hate the dog position here, but the Basharat brothers are very good in my opinion. I think they can keep it rolling here. I definitely think if I had to pick a winner of this fight, definitely Basharat.
Yeah. Then the women's bantamweight division, we've got Nora Cornell versus Jocelyn Edwards. Bit of a closer fight. I think Edwards the slight favorite. I don't hate Nora as a dog in this because impressed me. Yeah,
she's longer. She's gonna use those like she used those front kicks. She basically uses her front kicks like a jab. And that's what she's done when she's been successful.
She's just a split decision queen.
I like Jocelyn.
Split decision.
I like Jocelyn here.
Yeah, I do too. Like I don't know if I'm definitely gonna play it or not. I might, but if I was gonna play one side, it would be Edwards. She's longer. She's younger. A little bigger.
We've got welterweights, Angalusa versus Reese McKee. Should be a pretty good fight, actually.
I like this fight. Should be it's going to be a stand-up fight.
Yeah,
I think so at least. Angalusa is interesting. He actually fought JDM pretty well on Contender Series. Reese McKee's been like one of these like darlings in Cage Warriors. He was in the UFC, kind of got thrown to the wolves. He fought Hamzat one of his first few fights. Got just mauled. But I mean, yeah. Literally everyone was getting mauled by him, so I don't like give him too much like flack for that. And really, Hamzat's like a 185er. But this is like a kind of a weird. I kind of want to take Reese McKee. He's longer, younger too. I'm afraid he gets clipped here. I think he's got better cardio, so I think I think I could see a fight where he like weathers the storm and then wins late. Like that wouldn't shock me. I'll pick McKee for the sake of the fight, but definitely worries me some because I think Angelos is pretty actually pretty good. Like I think he is really like UFC caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind McKee. I think it's a pretty 50-50 fight, but yeah, this should be a good one. Like I'm excited to watch this one. I agree with Ev. Angelusa is pretty good. If I had to pick someone, it'd be McKee underdog, but
I was gonna say I'd probably lean McKee too. I like the Cage Warriors guys.
He's plus 150. That's kind of why if it was even, I might take Lusa, but plus 150, I'll take a shot on McKee.
This next one, the headline of the prelims had, from what I saw, the best face-off.
Yep.
It was electric. Taylor Lapilus versus Callan Loughran. Loughran, I think is the way to pronounce that last name. Came out just birds to the crowd. Fuck you guys. It was making the jerk-off symbol at them. Got in the face-off, did the fuck you to the crowd while he was in the face-off. I love a guy playing the heel like this. Just an old school, I'm going to flip you the bird. I'm going to make a jerk-off motion. Fuck everyone. So I'm rooting for him in this fight. I got to be honest. Just based on those antics, I want him to win.
Yeah, it's, kind of like the striker versus grappler kind of thing. Locker wants to wrestle. Lapilus wants to keep it on the feet. Lapilus, however you say his name. I don't really have – this is Lapilus' second time in the UFC. Logren, I'm pretty sure is making his debut. I just very kind of very unopinionated about it. I guess maybe I'd take the prospect as a dog, but I don't know. I could see him getting clipped here as well.
I want him to just get the mic afterwards, be able to cut a huge promo on the crowd.
Yeah, he doesn't like the French apparently.
Which it seems like you saying that could get maybe problematic, but we'll see. Give him the mic and see if he gets problematic.
Yeah, we'll see I kind of. How do you say his last name? Lapilus?
Lapilus or Lapilus?
Lapilus?
I kind of edge him a little bit here, but I think his takedown. He can stuff the takedowns and really just on the feet take advantage of them. But that face off is turning me the wrong way.
Yeah. Then the main card we've got in the featherweight division: Morgan Chariri. How do you pronounce that name? Morgan Chariri?
Yeah.
Versus Manolo Zaccini. The fucking names on this card. They're putting me in a body bag over here. How do you guys feel about this one?
Chariri was I'm pretty sure he was a Cage Warriors champion. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he's a huge favorite.
Yeah, he's massive favorite. So that's why it's one of those like a no play for me. I think he's the rightful favorite. He's probably fought better competition, but I don't honestly I don't know enough about Zaccini to be honest. So for me, it's just a stay away.
This is a double debut, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got William Gomez versus Giannis Gamori.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Gamori here.
Oh yeah.
I just don't like Gomez. The only thing is how he fights. Judges do because it looks like he's landing, but I don't like him at all. I think any value you can get against him is pretty good. I know it's a little bit of a longer dog shot, but William Gomez, he's fighting at home. I think he's French. I'm actually almost 100% sure he's French.
He is.
So he's fighting at home and whatnot, but I don't mind. Last second replacement, so it's going to be a tough fight for him. But I am not a fan of Gomez at all.
I agree with you in not being a fan of Gomez. I'm not going to take Giannis here just because he's last minute opponent. He's a bantamweight going up to featherweight. I just think Gomez is way bigger, way stronger. I agree with you. I think there's going to be a time to fade Gomez very soon. I wish you the best of luck because I'm not betting Gomez, but I personally don't think this is it.
All right.
But I'll be rooting for you.
Then the fight that is very much not canceled next. Volkan Oezdemir versus Bogdan Guskov. The odds I got here is that Oezdemir's about minus 175. I think I like him at that price. I think Volkan's definitely going to win this one.
I like him at that price. I think he knocks him out.
Yeah, I've seen some love for Guskov or however say his name. some unreal names on this one. I'd almost prefer the Dagestani names.
I know these are
like
tough.
at least the Dagestani ones we've gotten down because it's usually
Madoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they usually have a very similar tongue in how you say them. However, these are all over the place. We have to be more cultured though.
Yeah.
That
true.
being, I have to watch Goose. I keep thinking of Gooch.
Gusto?
Like
Oh, I keep
Gusto
thinking Gusto
Gusto
from
Gusto.
Emperor's New Groove.
Okay, I've never. Is that a movie?
The old cartoon. It's like from when we were kids.
Got it. Okay, so I've seen some love for him, so I may look at it, but Vulcan is never like Vulcan is somebody that he's great, but every time he fights, there's something that's left to be desired.
But you put him in it again, someone that's never even been in the UFC. I'm like,
but I like Paul Craig 2 years ago was like piecing him up on the feet at points.
I'm not real. I mean, he laid on his back the whole time and lost the worst decision ever. I kind of agree with Robbie where he's been fighting such like top guys for so long. This is the first guy he's fought forever that's just like basically not top 15. And not only he's not top 15, he's making his debut. See, that's why I like Vulcan. But I mean, also these are just two like big heavy hitters, so I just wouldn't be surprised if something crazy happened. But I like Ozdemir.
Jesse Adams is right. He's a steady vet. I think Ozdemir so that's why I haven't pulled the trigger on him. I gotta watch a Goose Goff fight.
interesting fight up next: Benoit Saint Denis versus Thiago Moises. I kind of like Thiago Moises as an underdog.
I mean, I think we are both BSD like through and through. Like I think he's gonna, yeah. But
I don't hate him as a dog.
My thing is I mean he cashed as like as like a plus 285 dog last time. It made it look easy. I just think he's very underrated right now. Well, I think now he's finally kind of getting rated like maybe respectfully that he's a favorite against Thiago Moises. I think he should be. I think he wins. The only thing I'm kicking myself, I said this to Jack like earlier in the week that I missed the line. It was like I said this opened as like a pick'em, and now Benoit's like he's minus like 160. I still might even play him at minus 160.
It is crazy. He finished Bonfim.
He did it
finished him
first round, right?
Smoked him.
He subbed him.
Yeah, and he fought very well before that. It wasn't like a fluke slot. Fluke. Stuff.
He's really. I think he's legit like a dark horse. Like he's like one of the more underrated fighters I think in the UFC.
Then we've got Furio versus Namajunas.
Furio all the way. Namajunas. Furio all the way.
Is that because of her fighting ability?
Yes. No, Rose. Not. She's gonna get. Who knows? Like, where is she mentally?
Did you see her talking about the Esparza fight? How boring it was.
Yeah, well, that's her fault.
She says she's an artist. She doesn't appreciate when you disrespect her art.
Well, that was the worst art I've seen in a while. Shout out Esparza.
It was the ugliest piece of shit painting I've ever seen.
Also, it's so funny. Do you remember the fight right after it?
It was a good fight, right?
It was Oliveira Gaethje. It was a legit war for
4 minutes, 3 minutes.
But yeah, I like Manio here. I think she may just end up getting a decision. I think her finishing equity is a little bit overrated, but we have seen Rose get finished before, obviously. But I like Manio. I've always liked Manio. I mean, she's.
I'm torn here.
Rose is a joke.
I don't think she is. I think
she's not a joke.
You get Rose plus 170, and it's like
you're Rose too much. Jack makes which listen, Fiar might win the fight.
Yeah,
this is a little Rose magic MMA. Trauma Namas or whatever he calls her.
Yeah,
Trauma Namajunas or Trauma Yumis or whatever. I feel like I'm envisioning a world. This is happening in my brain right now where Rose wins like a split decision, and just Twitter is just in an uproar.
Oh, that's gonna happen. That is gonna happen.
I might bet Rose plus 160. Well, I'm not. locked into that. Don't
Maybe
hold
just
me to
better
that, but
decision. See what happens.
Pat Barry's gonna fucking pay off the fucking judges in France. It's gonna be gross.
Fjord gets robbed in her own country.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the main event, Cyril Gane versus Sergey Spivak. Good heavyweight fight to main event this card. You got Gane in the main event in France and everything. Gane a slight favorite, I think, or I'm more than a slight favorite.
I'm with
say.
MPI. Rose is a 2-time champion. Her record's 11-5. Like what? Yeah, he's gonna groom the judges. Yeah, MPI is right.
Well, all right. Let's not get.
She lost to Esparza, Andrade.
She got dumped on her head by Andrade. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Who else did she lost to?
Did Joanna beat her in a rematch?
No.
Dude, she smoked Joanna.
Yeah. Twice. Made her tap.
And she beat fucking Zhang, who I think is wild. I think is wildly impressive. Look at how that's aged. Now if they fought now, I don't know if things would go the same, but I think I don't think she's like some like joke.
Who's she lost?
Pulling up Rose Namajunas' record right now. Please stay with me. Andrade Esparza. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Split decision.
Oh, way back. Yeah, way back.
Lost to Esparza twice. Lost to Esparza way back on the Ultimate Fighter.
Twice. That's right. Twice. Yeah.
Lost to Tesha Torres on an Invicta card. Her last card before she went on the Ultimate Fighter.
So so we're talking like forever ago. A lot of those losses.
Like since 2016, she has 3 losses, and it's the split decision to Kowalkiewicz, and then afterwards is just the Andrade and Esparza fight.
And people forget because Kowalkiewicz kind of got like clowned because she went on this like long losing streak. Like she fought Joanna for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like. I've been going back and forth in the main event. I think I've decided on Cyril Gane.
Me too.
I think I think the UFC kind of knows what they're doing in this fight. Like I think they're the French star. I don't think they want to give him some like. Is there a world where Spivak just like out grapples the fuck out of him? I mean, after what we've seen with like Francis and how easily John Jones worked with him, I mean, I don't think it's like totally out of the equation. But I think Cyril Gane. I just think he's such like a freak. I think he's, as long as something crazy doesn't happen like early where Spivak's just like dumping him and just like mauling him on the ground. If he's able to just keep that distance over 5 rounds, I think he just picks him apart. Maybe finds a knockout eventually. If he's willing to like force it a little bit, like push it.
I think
with Gane. You don't know sometimes he's gonna go for it.
I think he'll find the knockout. I like Gane. Spivak's striking defense isn't great, and I think Gane's just elite kickboxing will take over. Now, obviously, Ev is right. I mean, that's why the line is not huge. There's a chance Spivak comes in there and just dumps him on his head a bunch of times, but we'll see. I'm pretty confident in Gane. I think we're getting like a good amount of value here based off of what happened last fight against somebody that me personally really underrated in terms of how good he was going to be at a new weight class. And Gane's done this before where he's lost the heavyweight championship fight, then came back and, in France, I mean, it's the same storyline against the big guy. I know it's different because Ty is not a wrestler and that's where kind of his deficiencies are, but I do like Gane. I think he's a good bet. And I think he'll find a finish. I think he could even find it relatively early, round 1, round 2.
Speaking of heavyweights, we just saw a video on Twitter. Oscar Willis from the Mac Life just tweeted this. Mike Tyson training Francis for the Tyson Fury fight. And it looks like he's going hard too. Tyson is dripping sweat in this video, like basically just coaching him, I guess.
That's
pretty fucking cool, to be honest.
No, yeah, honestly, that's awesome. He's been training this whole time, and I think honestly it's perfect for it because I think that's the kind of person you need training him, and you need saying these things like he's been in the media saying you're crazy if you don't think like Francis can give him a run like this and that. Whether people believe that or not, I think it's irrelevant. I think you need a guy like Tyson. When he speaks, people listen. Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here and say I know more about boxing than Mike Tyson. that doesn't mean I have to agree with every single thing he ever says about boxing, who's going to win. But I mean, I think someone like that, but I mean, he's the guy to be behind him and just like push this whole thing. I think that could help immensely with trying to create the buzz around it they need.
Definitely. I just saw this tweet from Sugar too as we were doing the show. He just tweeted, "I can't wait to beat up Cheeto again." This has just been the live Sugar Sean Twitter read show.
He's really honestly the funniest thing would be for me. He's gonna sit there. He fights Cheeto in December, January, beats him. Then he goes, "Henry, get over here, Henry." Henry fights
here, little guy.
Get over here, little guy. And then Merab's just sitting there like, "Oh, like I don't want my title shot." Sorry, buddy. You had it. Like you could have had it 3 times. You said no. That's your fault.
Did you see the clip of Bradley Martin talking with Merab and Aljo? He thought that Aljo and Sean O'Malley went shopping together 2 days before the fight. He was like, "Wait, so you guys went shopping together 2 days before your fight? How's that work?" And Aljo goes, "What?" And he goes, "You went shopping?" And then he goes, and Aljo goes, I went shopping with my fiance, but Sean wasn't there." And then Bradley thought this because at the end of the Aiden Ross, by the way, I don't know if you guys have watched it. It's so funny. The Aiden Ross interviewing Sean O'Malley and Aljamain was like, he needs to do this before. I hope he does it with Izzy and Strickland
from it,
because it was truly insane. It just was not real life. It was like Aiden was just like, "So guys, like, so you guys hate each other or what?" And then at Sugar, right before he signed off, he said, "Yeah, me and Aljo are gonna go shopping," and it was a joke. Aljo didn't even catch it.
Yeah,
and then Bradley was like, "Oh wait, never mind." That podcast was very weird too because Merab was there and it was an interview of Aljo, but Merab was in the shot too. It was just a very weird
shocker.
Yeah. Rob, do you have any theories there off the record? Do you have any theories there or no?
No. If I think what you're insinuating, what I think you're insinuating. No.
Okay, I don't think
so either. I just think he's too stupid to understand what's going on around him. That he's sitting there while Aljo is just being like the king, and then he's just sitting there like, because now he's like the backup to not even the king anymore. Now he's like Robin to Robin.
Yeah,
I mean, like he's like I just think he doesn't. Don't think he gets life. Like I just don't think he understands what's happening. That he's letting it, like he's watching this title shot literally just like slowly just like fade away from him.
Yeah.
And he's had every ability to stop it. And he just doesn't get it.
It's tough.
He might have to fight again to get a title shot now, if he ever gets one.
Oh, I think he will have to fight again, to be honest.
Honestly,
Aljo,
I think it's going to just be so long till he can get one that they're going to be like, "Come on."
Now I sound like a dick saying this because I don't want him to get hurt or anything. I don't think he's like a bad guy. And I know, like, I love the steamroll in them, and Aljo's been very good to us. So, and I love like that whole camp. But just the theater, if like he fought like Sandhagen just like kicks his head off, would be pretty wild.
Yeah.
I think, but he is still hurt right now, right? He had wrist surgery.
They both are hurt, I think, unless he Merab might be all right now or close.
Oh, great point by Jesse Adams.
Not gonna be good for a while.
I think Bradley Martin at one point told Merab to shut up.
Makes sense.
It was a very odd.
This guy said that Aljo would beat Sugar after the fight transpired. He said he'd beat Sugar 10 out of 10 times.
Wait,
what are we talking about?
Mike just said give Merab Yan, force him to prove it.
They fought.
Is he trolling? Mike, are you trolling?
That actually would be hilarious if Dana was like, "Yeah, you have to beat him again." Like the last time, even though he like 50-47 or 50-45 the fuck out of him, I need you to prove it. You won all five rounds last time in dominant fashion. Show me again. Run it back.
All right. Well, shout out everyone in the chat.
Yeah. I'll pull it up on
like,
StreamYard.
subscribe, please.
Subscribe.
Like,
Monaco,
drink Monaco.
Kentucky coffee, classic margarita watermelon, hard lemonade, 2 shots in every one, 9% alcohol. You got the spicy margarita.
Yep.
I mean, tequila, vodka, whiskey. What else can you ask for? Not a lot.
Shout out Monaco.